लेडीज दिखाती है ना कि मैंने ये पहना वो पहना. This NDC tie, National Defense College tie. That was for 4 months before they picked me up and sent me back to a special. When I went to washroom, I realized I should have flown. आदमी वाले बहुत अपने ये हमारा ये है इस बहुत ये देखिए
अभी
Can you click it for me? It will be डॉक्टर ठाकुर भाई एक मिनट आ जाइए तो इधर स्टार्ट बेटा उधर से somebody can fill this gap. Yeah. Front row. Please. आप इधर देखिए तो. हाँ. शुभम जी. आपकी पिक्चर. एक साहब का. हम फॉरवर्ड. सर यहाँ इसको देखिए. इधर देखिए इधर देखो. The golden handshake for the success and further prosperity of Amity University. Okay, so I see. I believe that you can start.
Good morning, everyone. Respected guests, esteemed speakers, faculty members, dear students, and all participants, a very warm welcome to each one of you on the occasion of Earth Day 2026. Today's theme reminds us of our shared responsibility, our power, our planet. It is not just a theme, but a call for action to protect and preserve our environment for future generations. Now I'd like to call upon Professor Dr. Thakur, Director Assis AUH, to felicitate the guests with Amity Memento and shawl.
पूरा उड़ाइए ये आपकी ये भी क्या करते हैं कंधे पे डाल देते हैं आप इधर से ताली ताली Thank you, sir. And also, sir, this point. I guess we will do it later. But we will start lecture. Very nice. Okay, so that is some later. We will start.
To formally welcome our guests, I invite Dr. Thakur to deliver the welcome address.
So good afternoon, everybody. I believe that it's a great occasion for everybody, in fact, whosoever on the earth, all the living entities that you can say. You know that how you can define the living entities and all these things. Everybody is in problem, sorry. And that is why we are organizing the Earth Day. First of all, I'd like to extend my heartiest thanks, in fact, to our founder, President Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, and also Dr. Asim K. Chauhan, our Chancellor, who has given us the opportunity and he has given us a wonderful place where we can celebrate the Earth Day. It is a great moment that Mr. Alok Srivastava, I will say that Dr. Alok Srivastava, because you were surprised to know that Alok, it is MPhil, MA and MPhil for Jawaharlal Nehru University, and he did twice MPhil in his career. You know, he is with us. So first of all, I like to extend my heartiest thanks to Srivastav ji, IAS, in fact, and he has the maximum period of the as Chief Secretary in Northeast India, in fact, and he has contributed significantly in the Sikkim region. He will tell you about all these things later. Okay. So in the meantime, actually, this is my duty that you people, in fact, and also
I acknowledge and please clap for Dr.
The Alok is this kind of name, the Alok is. That you will get the beauty, in fact, that if you have the energy inside you, then you would be in position to conquer the whole world. That I'm saying. See, the Indians, in fact, whatever you can say the human civilization is, it is from the India. It is from India, and why we are going behind? I have seen the potency, your potency outside, and everybody, in fact, recognize your excellent work. I was just discussing with you also that what a remarkable things that you have done it. You have to generate such kind of energy inside you, and perhaps, and if you have such kind of thing, certainly you will do remarkable. What is my job? Why there is an Earth Day celebrated? Earth Day celebrated. See the problems of the environmental when it started, the long back, the natural calamities, the anthropogenic problems arises, in fact. And you will surprised to know that after the World War, again you have another World War going on. You can say such a type of World War. And what I did it, that if you have such kind of things, the problems has increased slowly and slowly. You know, the lot of contaminants emerged because of that World War problems. And after that, what happened? The pesticides, the chlorinated containers. Nowadays, the people are talking about the PFAS. You have heard the PFAS? Your water is highly contaminated with the PFAS. So such kind of contaminants, and it is going inside you. You know what happened? Have you heard the Silent Spring? Written by Raphael Carlson. Long back, she was 1950. She was just a PhD student and working in United States of India, working on DDT problems, other pesticide problems, and she wrote the book, Silent Spring. You know the another problems, in fact, you know the Vietnam War, where the dioxin came into existence. A lot of things. PFAS is a recent addition. These are known as emerging contaminants in the environment. And because of that only, the Earth Day people started celebrating from 1970 onwards. So this history is full of that one. What is our duty? Our duty is that we should recognize it and we should certainly take the place. And in order to decontaminate it, we can develop the technology. You are a technocrat sitting here. And if you are technocrat, certainly your duty is that how to develop the technology in order to contain it. My job here is as a director assist that I have, in fact, that you have seen some program that already we have completed. Now we are going to the next phase when we have this talks and also the discussion, panel discussions. You have every question, you can ask the questions to the speakers. You can see the Dr. Srivastava, how he reacted, in fact. I need reaction from you. Professor P.V. Sharma has told you in the morning, in fact. So I'm really grateful to Professor P.V. Sharma, Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Madhukarji, and he will come to you because Madhukarji is preparing his documents for the presentation in academic. This we have Board of Governors meeting is parallelly it is going on in the V block. That is why we have no time. We have seen Professor Ryan Prasad was there, and all the dignitaries of the university. He came to you and he meet you. So this is your job. See, I can see a lot of potential. Why I came from JNU to this place. because I thought that's a great potential, there is great power. And you people are the power, you are the soldiers, I am telling you. And if you are good soldiers, certainly we can own everything. We can conquer it. You see what is happening around us. Not only World War II and whatever the present problems the environment is facing, the climate problems, So all these things are important for us, and that is why I organize this particular Earth Day. I'm really, whatever you people have done it in the posters and board, I'm really highly satisfied. That's why I'm doing such kind of work. I'm really grateful to our university's authority, and I welcome Professor Sharma will come maybe after some time. He will come again. He will meet you people. Professor Badkar will come. Other dignitaries of the university will come again. He will meet you because certain engagement he has. Now, what I can tell say that I'm giving it back to the Suri. Suri, you can invite to next, in fact, the things that you can do it. So you can directly go to the speakers.
Thank you, Professor Thakur. We now begin with our expert talk. It is my great honor and privilege to extend our heartfelt welcome to our esteemed speaker for today, Mr. Alok Srivastava, IAS retired.
Actually, I want to add one more thing. We have Srivastava ji with us, this offline mode, and online mode. We have another 3 speakers that we have. One is Professor Asmi Raja. Asmi Raja is a economist. She's working on energy security. You know that today's this India is our planet, our power, our planet. So this is the basic. So I invited Professor Asmi Raja for the energy security. And another, you have the speakers. We have Dr. Professor Uttam Katki. He's another professor and head energy division, Tezpur University. And you have the third Garima Kaushik. So we can hear to them also, but we have to get this right.
Professor Alok Srivastava is a 1984 IAS batch officer of Sikkim with a distinguished career in public administration in Sikkim and 3 other states of Northeast. He has held key positions including Chief Secretary of Sikkim, Additional Chief Secretary, Home Secretary, Resident Commissioner, and senior roles in the Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Donor, World Bank, Project on Livelihood Promotion, and National Human Rights Commission, an academic with an ME and 2 MPhils, 2 PG diplomas, certificate programs, etc. from JNU University, New Delhi, Ranchi University, Indian Law Institute, Delhi, respectively. And he has also contributed to teaching, research, learning, and knowledge generation in low-income group people and women. Owing to his passion and deep insight, he is also an accomplished author with 6 books and over 500 articles on national, international, social environment, and gender issues. With expertise in governance, public policy, and sustainable development. Recently, he received Sun Global Legend Award 2026 for public service and VAI Fellowship for Advancement of Veterinary Sciences under the aegis of Veterinary Association of India. Sir, your illustrious career in public administration stands as a remarkable example of dedication, visionary leadership, and commitment to sustainable development. Serving at the highest levels of governance, you have played a pivotal role in shaping policies that balance progress with environmental responsibility. Your contribution to governance, particularly in the state of Sikkim, known for its ecological sensitivity and progressive environmental practices, has been truly inspiring. I would now like to invite Mr. Alok Srivastava, ex-Chief Secretary, Government of Sikkim, to speak on our power, our planet.
Thank you very much. Thank you. not Mrs. Thakur saying so. She has to assure that whether you retire or I retire, she has to assure. So let's give a big hand to वो आगे आइए चलो चलो आप आइए ना पीछे इधर आ जाइए आप खड़े कीजिए हाँ अब नाउ यू गिव इट सर इसको देखिए सर ऐसे मैडम आप आगे ना आगे अब अगर आप नहीं आएंगी तो हम आपके पास आएंगे याद Madam, it is not medical care. Because I have to again. So I will get it well. Hey.
Can we settle down, please?
Yes, sir.
I think the chairs are to be occupied by somebody or the other, not be kept vacant. एक दो लोग आगे आ जाइए. Okay, we begin. I should say we begin from beginning. Does it make any sense? 3-4 things I will tell you. I am from Hindi medium. Sir, हमारे साथी Thakur Sahab is also from Hindi medium. But we not only speak in English, but we also write in English. And this is how the journey has been. I failed in science test, of which Professor Thakur is the master or is the PhD and whatnot. But I write on science topics also. And the kind of background we get, we need in our days, there was something called science test. And 8वीं या 9वीं क्लास में होता था, 8वीं क्लास में होता था, और लोग पूछते थे कि क्या कर रहे हो, लोकल भाषा में पूछते थे, जो आई थिंक भाभी जी बताएंगी, क्या करे था, तो हम लोग कुछ बोल नहीं पाते थे, बोलने की हिम्मत नहीं थी, तो माँ बोलती थी, अच्छा आर्ट्स है, if you are an arts student, you are looked down upon. Madam, are you writing something or you are listening to me? Okay, so arts student means you are looked down upon. And Professor Thakur knows matriculation. In our days, it was board. 6th class, it was board. Okay, board means state board. Nothing like all these CBSE and ICSE and what. तो हमने देखा घूमकर, मैं अपनी तारीफ नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैट्रिकुलेशन आईए बीए हमारे टाइम में आईए होता था, इंटरमीडिएट आर्ट्स, इंटरमीडिएट साइंस, इंटरमीडिएट कॉमर्स, बीए एमए एमफिल पीएचडी व्हाटएवर इट इज, पीएचडी तो मैं आधा ही नहीं कर पाया, लेकिन पहुंच तो गया था। आई एम सपोज टू बी डॉक्टर श्रीवास्तव, विच आई ऑब्जेक्ट टू, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया मेड मी डॉक्टर विदाउट माई क्लियरिंग पीएचडी. आई डोंट नो what is their basis, but officially I am Dr. Alok Srivastava, which I don't write. Like one of my gurus, Dr. Arun Sauli. You must have heard of Dr. Arun Sauli. अरुण सावली जी का तो नाम सुना होगा, इंडियन एक्सप्रेस के एडिटर थे, सैरेकस यूनिवर्सिटी से उन्होंने पीएचडी की थी, रिनाउंड स्कॉलर है ना सर, अरुण सावली साहब. He doesn't write doctor, many of them, and they are many of them are in journalism also, जिसमें उनको काफी थ्रेटनिंग मिलती है, खासकर इमरजेंसी में. तो इससे मैं शुरू करता हूँ. फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट, जब ठाकुर साहब, मुझे पता नहीं सम्मान क्यों दिया जा रहा है, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया, लेकिन जब सम्मान दे रहे थे, बिकॉज आई डोंट डिजर्व, तो मेरे मन में आया, ठाकुर साहब अर्थ डे जो आप बना रहे हैं, दिस हैज टू बी ऑब्जर्व्ड, और आप ताली बजाएंगे, दिस हैज टू बी ऑब्जर्व्ड लाइक योर बर्थडे. अर्थ डे शुड बी ऑब्जर्व्ड लाइक योर बर्थडे. एम आई राइट और एम आई रॉन्ग? आप जितना इंपॉर्टेंस देते हैं, बर्थडे मनाते हैं ना सब, पापा मम्मी फ्रेंड्स, विद फ्रेंड्स विदाउट फ्रेंड्स सब कुछ, लेकिन बर्थडे तो बनता है. हमारे जानते क्या करते थे, माँ हमारी माँ, तो पिताजी को तो फुर्सत ही नहीं था, रात को लेट से आते थे, तो वो उस दिन मंदिर ले आते थे. जिसका इसका बर्थडे होता था तो हम लोग मंदिर जाते थे. मेरी एक भाभी थी, वो अपने बच्चे का फोटो खिंचाती थी, 5th बर्थडे 6th बर्थडे 7th बर्थडे. दिस इज हाउ वी हैव ग्रोन अप, and we have no qualms about it. We don't regret it. We feel it with a sense of pride, not with a pinch of salt. सर आईटी वाले सर आप सुन रहे हैं ना? अभी हम लोग आईटी पर बात कर रहे हैं. अभी ठाकुर साहब ने तो कमाल कर दिया. मैं इनके फाइल पर, forgive me if I'm wrong, मैं मोबाइल में रात से शुरू किया इनके फाइल पर और लिखना शुरू किया कि ये जो डायरी है, पता नहीं डायरी भी मैं छोड़ दिया होता, अरे डायरी भिजवा दीजिएगा प्लीज. तो उसमें बहुत खजाना है. तो डायरी में जो लिखा था, that will not be sufficient because unless I jot down something. And Professor Thakur, इसको कहते हैं telepathy. He just picked it up and he printed it. I have not even seen properly, but my wife knows. कोई पूछ रहा था कि वो आप सोते भी हैं? हाँ, वो आप सोते भी हैं. हमने कहा मेरी पत्नी से पूछिए. तो रात को मैं सोया हूँ 1:30-2 बजे और सुबह उठ गया हूँ उनसे उठने के पहले 4:45. और आपको डांट मिलती है अगर आपने मैडम को आपने फलाने टाइम पर नहीं उठाया. Those of you who are married, please remember it, because you are not important, she is important, because she runs the whole house, she runs and she looks after children, and this is how, इसको कहते हैं ना, generation after generation it goes on. What Raj Kapoor used to say, so has to go on, so must go on because it has to go on, so must go on because it has to go on. Now I come to what I am supposed to say. Thanks to Professor Thakur, it is there before me, and it makes my task simpler. And first and foremost, आज का जो थीम है ना, थीम में थोड़ा सा, हाँ एक और चीज बता देता हूँ. I am grateful to Professor Thakur. I had sent in yesterday or day before an article on North India and NCR impacted by unusual weather again. This is dated 20th April. 2 दिन पहले भेजा था. इन्होंने वो सर्कुलेट कर दिया है, बहुत खुशी की बात है. उसमें मैं क्या क्या मैंने लिखा है वो आपको मैं अपने लेक्चर के बारे में बोलूंगा, लेक्चर के दौर में बोलूंगा. वो दूसरा इसके लिए तो भाई, इसके लिए आप ताली बजा दीजिए कि इन्होंने बाकायदा जो हमारे फोन में था, I accuse him, Professor Thakur has hijacked from my phone, and I don't know आपका AI काम किया कि कोई और कर दिया, और वो भी बाकायदा हम टैक्सी में थे, लाइक टैक्सिंग ऑन द टारमैक। प्लेन जो है ना, प्लेन उड़ता नहीं है, प्लेन पहले टैक्सिंग करता है। मैं टैक्सिंग कर रहा था अमेठी में लैंड करने के लिए। अरे कोई फोटो वोटो ले रहा है कि नहीं ले रहा है? देखो ऐसे ऐसे कर रहे हैं। हाँ, अमेठी में लैंड करने के लिए हम आ रहे थे और ठाकुर साहब ने ये कर दिया। थैंक यू सर। Now we begin from beginning again. We are having 8 planets, not 9. You are aware of that? Yes. Which one is missing? Pluto. Pluto. Why? Sir, जोर से बोलिए सर.
Planet is the dwarf planet and also not.
It's too small, very insignificant. है ना? So it has been taken off the list. Okay. Now, theme for the Earth Day is our planet, our power, same as in 2025. वो कृतिका जी हैं यहाँ पर, कृतिका वर्मा जी जो आपकी कलीग हैं, हाँ, आकृति, हाँ, आपसे हम बोल रहे थे ना, कुछ पता लगा पाई कि यूएन ऑफिस में क्यों इन्होंने थीम को फिर से वही कर दिया? नहीं मिला। मैं बताता हूँ क्या किस्सा। वो हमारे से एक साथ जूनियर थे, सीनियर थे, यूपी कैडर के। मैं उनसे मिलने गया। It was just after COVID, so they decided to pack up. There was a lady who was known to me since my Terry days. She was on deputation from Bihar government, and I just went there to Kolkata just like this. जैसे ठाकुर साहब ने हमको हाईजैक कर लिया, इन्होंने तो 4-5 दिन टाइम दिया। उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं बस आप आ जाइए, आप पचौरी साहब ने बोला है कि आपको भाषण देना है कलकत्ता में। कितने लोग थे बताइए? कम से कम 10 या 12 चीफ सेक्रेटरीज थे, कुछ आए कुछ नहीं आए, मतलब 10-12 states were represented and I was supposed to speak or someone to give keynote address before a senior of mine, very learned fellow, Dr. Ghosh, is a PhD. He was in environment secretary also. His son used to be with my son when my son was alive. Coming to Northeast cadre, you lose 2 things. One is your eye, because you can't reach doctor in time. Second, he could not get admission, so that started the whole process. I don't want to repeat that. And finally, he died in 2011. So what happens is that कि हमें time कम मिला, so without any paper I spoke. At that also, like today, I am speaking before Vice Chancellor. No, that is wrong. If VC Saab is here, as per protocol, he should be here and I should be following him, unless Professor Thakur says, if you speak first, then VC Saab will take over. हमारे मतलब bureaucracy में वही होता है. But I met him, so nice of him. He has promised that he will spare 10 minutes for me before I go back to my Holi in Noida. भाभी जी मुस्कुरा रही है, Holi in Noida, because she stays in much bigger Holi in Dwarka. Now, what happens is that he followed it up for Dr. Pachauri, and before he died, within 2-3 months he died. I retired in October, September 30th. He died within 10-15 days. I happened to meet him at his house. I gave him one of the books I had edited. They have told you that I claim to have 5 books. One of them is a huge volume on Sikkim biodiversity. And I have done nothing. What happened is that 300 odd papers are lying here and there in the department in which you are dumped. You are dumped as an IAS officer. You don't go to science and technology and so many other departments where nobody wants to go. I said, fine, let us take it as a challenge. So, Professor Thakur, I created this book. And all the cream papers were taken away by the chief minister, because he wanted a volume on Sikkim biodiversity on one of those days, which was politically, it was important for him. So nobody came for my inauguration, as they say in Trump's language. But chief minister said, "ठीक है, आप ला रहे हैं तो इसको भी हम release कर देंगे." So this was released in April 2012. But kindly go through. I think I have shared with some people. It's a wonderful publication, and you have everything what is known as animal biodiversity, because we are talking about that now. Plant biodiversity, traditional knowledge system, threats to biodiversity, and what is known as landslide protection and control measures. Because we are from hills, unlike you people, you are from plains. Imagine a plainsman going to hills without a newspaper, without a television, but how he or she adjusts, come and learn in Sikkim. But we are proud of our whatever achievement we have. And because of my passion, the only newspaper, or I think second or third newspaper, daily newspaper from 2003 onwards is giving me an award. It would have come on 15th, but they said it is a political event. You'd have to survive. Don't disclose it, okay? The talk between me and my editor. I have written 107 articles. Please clap for me in 16 and a half months. 16 and a half months. 16 and a half months I have written 107 articles, of which at least 30 or 40 of them are on environment, which I get on Sunday. And Wednesday, I write on the topics. Okay. At total, I have got 247 articles in the same period, that is 17 or 16 and a half months for all the 4 newspapers and magazines I write. Now, somebody was asking me, Professor Sahab, do you sleep also? Please ask me. बिकॉज इसमें क्या होता है ना, आजकल एआई का जमाना है, आपसे हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि आप एक अच्छे आर्टिकल्स को उड़ा देते, स्पीच कर देते, ये कर देते, तो हम लोग भी थोड़ा सा एआई माइंडेड हो गए। बिकॉज जब आपने ओरिजिनल वर्क किया है, आप लोग सुन रहे हैं, मैडम जी थोड़ा सा वो मोबाइल को बंद कर दीजिए प्लीज, काइंडली लिसन टू मी, नो मोबाइल, बिकॉज ऑन मोबाइल आई विल से समथिंग व्हिच यू विल नॉट लाइक। I failed in science test, and the topic of the poem is statics and dynamics. Imagine a man who has failed in science test is speaking on statics and dynamics, which is the basic principle of physics. Telephone has become mobile, but mind is static. Telephone has become mobile, but mind is static. Landline may be blind. Landline may be blind. Nevertheless, it is fine. After all, it doesn't pollute your mind. समझ में आया? आपको पता ही नहीं है किसका कॉल है, तो उठाना है। हस्बैंड बोलेगा कि तुम उठाओ, वाइफ बोलेगी तुम उठाओ, है ना, उठाना है। यहाँ तो देख के बताया नहीं, करे नहीं, ठाकुर साहब का फोन है, नहीं अभी बात नहीं करेंगे, मैंने उनका पेपर कंप्लीट नहीं किया। ठाकुर साहब ये पूछेंगे कि कितने दिन में पहुंच रहे हो, बिकॉज उसमें आ जाता है ना। माय सन यूज्ड टू से दोस डेज 2004 के पहले, व्हेन ही स्टार्टेड हैविंग सम प्रॉब्लम्स, कि पापा आप कितना भी कर लो, there is something called caller ID, था ना पहले, तो caller ID में आपका नाम आया। जैसे हमारे बसनेट साहब थे, पुराने दोस्त हैं, सचिव रह चुके हैं 9 साल सीएम के साथ, तो वो क्या करते थे, मेरा नाम देखते थे, मेरा फोन काट तो caller ID में था, if you want to spoil yourself, caller ID was available those days. But what I said, just think about it. Now I come to this proper. What I am saying is that on this day, we should take a vow to protect Earth and cultivate a meaningful and sustainable future. VC Sahab has talked about sustainability, which I slightly, enlarged about my interaction, on the basis of my interaction with Professor Abdul Kalam. Because he said, Alok, what you are doing is fine, but give it a title. What is the title? He gave me sitting in lounge of or Siliguri ka kya hai? Circuit house. We guys in IAS, we are very fond of circuits. You know why? Britishers used to tour on horsebacks, and they used to take rest in a place. तो place क्या होता था? एक इस circuit का हो गया, एक उस circuit का हो गया. This is how the concept of circuit house came out. And now those are known as just state guest houses and whatnot. तो उन्होंने कहा कि तुम इसको call करो Sikkim, the ultimate eco-tourism destination. Please clap for Dr. Kalam. See, you know him as DRDO man, you know him as missile man. है कि नहीं? But have you ever come across a man with missile background can also think about eco-tourism and sustainable tourism, which the two of us were talking today. You don't think about yourself, think about the future generation. Our job is over. And your job, the job of children has begun. जब आपका बच्चा होता है ना घर में, भाभी जी ठीक कह रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे हैं, आपकी दुनिया खत्म हो जाती है, आपके बच्चों की दुनिया और उनके बाद में उनके बच्चों की दुनिया, both of them are, see, They may look very simple. They are very, experienced people. They go all the way to states to see their grandchild. And she doesn't know how do I come to know, but I come to know. Thakur Sahab never tells me. So that is known as what is in sociology we used to be taught. If the physical separation does not mean that emotional bond has broken. ताली हो जाइए sir. Physical separation between Professor Thakur and his child in USA is there, but the emotional bond has not broken. That is why you attend his or her son's birthday, marriage, and death also is very important. We lost 10 children, 10 people when uncle died, my son, in 3 years. This time we have lost 3 people in less than 3 months, starting with my brother from December onwards. But that doesn't deter us, that doesn't come in our way. And this is how it should be. What Raj Kapoor used to say, the show has to go on, the show must go on. Don't stop the show. So we again come back to sustainability part of it. Now, why are we talking? We are talking about April and May last year. And this year also we had 4 times in 2026. We had the, variation or unusual developments on weather front. Now, how do you tackle it? Melting of glaciers, which Dr. Pachauri used to talk about. उनके साथ दिक्कत था कि उन्होंने जो he was vice chairman of the team which got Nobel Prize. The organizational part of it, not individual. Al Gore was the vice president, and Dr. Pachauri, they were given the Nobel Prize on peace or whatever it is because of their work, because they had said something about melting of glaciers by 2030 or 2025. कुछ लोग कहते हैं 2020 तक होगा. एक हसनैन साहब थे हमारे सिक्किम में थे, वो भी कहते थे यही बात. ये लोग कुछ कहते थे, अब वो मर गए तो फिर लोग बात कह रहे हैं. The fact means that glaciers are melting, the icebergs are melting. You can see, you go take a ship, go around. Nowadays you can go on doing shipping elsewhere, not in, what do you call it? बोलिए, not in the Strait of Hormuz. Hormuz तो जानते हैं ना सब लोग, नहीं जानते तो सीख लीजिए. अब किताबें ही किताबें आएंगी. Hormuz, the Hormuz saga, Hormuz and America, Hormuz and Iran, है ना? It has become so important because the straits are so important. About 10 states are there, Malacca and whatnot, जिसके through आपको जाना पड़ेगा. Aden Sea, Red Sea, whatnot. And you forget, we in India only talk about terrorists who are ISI sponsored or who are bred here. Okay. But we forget about the pirates. We forget about the डाकूस जो बचपन में आप लोग पढ़ते होंगे उसमें बेताल की कहानियां एंड ऑल, है ना? तो एक तो हो गए रॉबर्ट्स हो गए और एक हो गए पायरेट्स हो गए. तो एक ही देखिए डिफरेंस है कि कुछ लोग अपना दिन भर की कमाई के लिए फिशिंग करते हैं और उनको लूट लेते हैं, और कुछ लोग होते हैं कि राजा बन जाते हैं, जैसे कि सोमालिया में. तो वही लोग चला रहे हैं एंड दे आर रनिंग द गवर्नमेंट वेरी सक्सेसफुली. सोमालिया इज द ओनली कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड जहां पर दो नहीं 3 ग्रुप है जो कंट्री को चला रहे हैं. एंड दे आर आल्सो मेंबर ऑफ व्हाट? They are non-permanent members of UNO. ये शॉक की बात है. I'm not criticizing their system, but they are also non-permanent members of UNO. When we had trouble in Iran last year, Iran versus Israel, that time they were there. तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं? I don't want to criticize the government. हम लोग हर जगह क्या करते हैं बताइए? उतना deep knowledge आपको नहीं होगा. हम abstain करते हैं. If you look at the history of abstentions in this country, there is one gentleman called Akbaruddin. He was a famous, diplomat. कि हर जगह हम abstain करते हैं. मतलब हमारा clear stand नहीं. उसके बाद में है कि disappearance of island. ये आपको बांग्लादेश में प्रॉब्लम है, मालदीव में प्रॉब्लम है, और जगह भी है जो चला जा रहा है. अच्छा, not only the modern technologies and methods but traditional knowledge systems we also use to protect the environment. ये तो मैंने कह दिया, आप जो हमारी किताब में लिखा हुआ है. Next is use women and teenagers as their connectivity, or their, I should say, and connectivity wrong. हमारी अंग्रेजी कमजोर हो गई थी आज सुबह. As their bond with soil is much more strong and sustainable. The youth and the women, their bond with soil और मिट्टी के साथ उनका जो रिश्ता है बहुत ही तो काइंडली उसको यूज कीजिए. यूज ऑफ मैडम को कह रहे थे, कौन मैडम थी अभी हमारे साथ प्लांटेशन कर रही थी, यूज द एंडेमिक प्लांट्स एंड सीड्स इन ट्री प्लांटेशन ड्राइव्स. वो मैडम नहीं है यहाँ पर. हाँ, आपको बोला तुमने, देखिए छप गया, मतलब ठाकुर साहब ने छाप लिया, उनको पता लग गया कि हमारे दिमाग में है. इसको क्या कहते हैं सर? लैंड कहते हैं ना. deep in your brain, that is known as land in computer language. Mind it, I'm not from computer background. I failed in science test, but I write on science topics. अच्छा, उसके बाद है कि एक मैं बताना चाह रहा था, ठाकुर साहब आपके इंट्रोडक्शन में था कि आपने शायद कहा था कि अर्थ डे कब से शुरू हुआ है. थोड़ा सा ईयर बताएंगे सर? 1970. और हम लोगों ने जो सीखा है वो 92 से व्हाट इज नोन एज बायोडाइवर्सिटी, मैं उस पर आऊंगा. तो मैं एक बार मैंने भाषण दिया था स्टेट में 2012 में, जब मैं साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी का क्रिसमस. तो द टॉपिक गिवन वाज लाइक टुडे, आज का क्या है आपको पता ही है, आवर प्लैनेट एंड व्हाट नॉट, आवर पावर. फाइन. So that time it was, the thing was kick the carbon habit. After detailed deliberations, we reached the consensus that developing countries are blamed for raising the carbon content. आप कहीं भी चले जाइए, चाहे आप डेरी में हो, चाहे डेलावेयर में हो, जहां मैं था 1 महीने, या किसी भी कॉप कॉन्फ्रेंस में चले जाइए, they will always blame us for spoiling the system. But they will themselves not sign the conventions. It goes without saying. So the crisis of carbon or carbon content being more is not because of the developing nations, but it's very much because of the developed nations. And people right from Reagan days I have been following, they don't sign the conventions. You know what Mr. Trump has said with due regards to it? 60 organizations या 40 organizations यूएन के जो थे उसे उन्होंने अपने आप को डिलिंक कर दिया. बिफोर वी थ्रो लाइट ऑन द थीम, इट वुड बी डिजायरेबल टू टॉक अबाउट पावर एंड इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ लोकेशन ऑफ सन. I'll just briefly mention, without looking at my paper, that sun is ultimate. Sun is all pervading. बिना मतलब सूरज भगवान के बिना कुछ सोचना नहीं संभव. इस बुढ़ापे में भी मैंने 2020 में आधा छठ किया था और पिछले साल 60 घंटे का फास्ट किया. क्यों? बिकॉज जस्ट टू पे ओबेसेंस टू गॉड सन. और अंदर से आपकी शक्ति आती है. तो बेसिकली इंडियन सिस्टम में सन की पूजा हर जगह होती है, लेकिन 2 बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. एक तो है आपको क्या कहा जाए, 13 तारीख को शुरू करते हैं लोहड़ी के टाइम में, और 14 को खत्म करते हैं जब आपका मकर संक्रांति. And that's very scientific, how the sun moves from one hemisphere to another hemisphere. And then you have Chhat Puja, जिसकी शुरुआत राइजिंग सन से नहीं होती है. मोदी साहब बार बार कहते हैं, it starts with what we call in Nepali, you know, अस्ताउने खाओ, and what we call rising sun, you know, झुलके खाओ. मतलब आपको जो हुआ कि वो एक हो गया राइजिंग सन और एक हो जाएगा सेटिंग सन. So the beginning is made from setting sun, and next day you have the rising sun. And this is one of the few pujas which is very eco-friendly. हर चीज जो है ना वो आपको नेचर से निकालते हैं. जो सूप बनाते हैं, जो कंटेनर होता है या दौरा बनाते हैं गोल वाला, सब फ्रेश बांस का होता है. फिर आपको जो हरी ये क्या कहते हैं सब्जियां होती हैं, फल होते हैं, everything is from nature. And this is minded, I will say it with a strong voice, this is one of the few festivals of this जिसमें कोई पंडित की जरूरत नहीं. You do it yourself. और पंडित लोग आकर खड़े हो जाते हैं तो लोग दक्षिणा देते हैं. फिर हमारी आदत है, इसको कहते हैं हम नहीं सुधरेंगे. हमारी आदत है कि बांटते जाओ. Just go on throwing. We go on doing some pap and then we go before God कि भैया अब माफ कर दीजिए, हमसे गलती हो गई। जैसे चर्च में जाते हैं ना, कॉन्फेस करते हैं। I'm from Christian schools and college, St. John's and St. Xavier's. I have been several times to church. So what they do, कुछ हो गया तो नेक्स्ट डे लड़की या लड़का जाते हैं वहां पर, नील डाउन करके कॉन्फेस करते हैं। तो उसे लगता है कि भैया हमने कुछ जो खोया था वो पा लिया। मतलब you have the psychological satisfaction of having achieved something after having spoiled something. अंग्रेजी ठीक है सर? सर आपसे पूछ रहे हैं। You have spoiled something, then you try to say, feel that you have achieved something. So sun is very important, and our planet and our power in the same way lays stress on taking together individuals and communities for environmental progress. ये हमारी भाषा नहीं है, ठाकुर साहब की भाषा है। In order to move to a clean and safe world. Quickly I will go through, just I'll read out. What are the key aspects of this kind of day? First is collective action. समझ गए? सब लोग साथ चलिए। दूसरा है renewable energy. तीसरा है protection of environment. हम लोगों ने ट्री प्लांटेशन किया है। लेकिन एक चीज हम कहेंगे, बाद में भी कहेंगे, कि आप इसको पानी दीजिए, आप इसमें ट्री गार्ड लगाइए और आप इसकी देखभाल कीजिए। And why only that? He adopted tree. I'll come to that what we are doing in Sikkim. The governor also adopts a tree. By वो धागा जैसे महिलाएं करती है ना, बट वृक्ष की पूजा करती है तो धागा लगाती है ना, या शिव जी को वो धागा लगाते हैं। तो उसी तरह से सिक्किम में हम लोग एक एक पेड़ को अडॉप्ट कर लेते हैं, धागा लगाते हैं और उसको जाकर देखते हैं। गवर्नर साहब अगर चले भी गए, because CM is permanent, he will be there either as CM or ex-CM, but governor will go. So he assigns somebody, this is my tree, and he look after. Now protection of environment हो गया। रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, इसकी शुरू में ही दिख गया है कि फॉसिल फ्यूल आपके खत्म हो रहे हैं। जो पेट्रोल से हम लोग गाड़ी से आए, चले गए, सूट टाई लगा के आए, एनडीसी की टाई पहन ली है, क्या भाई बुके मिल गया, ये मिल गया, वो मिल गया, नहीं, दैट इज नॉट द इफेक्ट। यू हैव टू थिंक कि ये आपका फ्यूल कहाँ से आ रहा है। अभी आपका सारा मोबाइल, सारा पेटीएम और क्या क्या बंद हो जाएगा। क्यों? ईरान इज गोइंग टू कट द ऑप्टिक फाइबर बिलो द सी। क्या कर लोगे आप? तो हमारी तरह बेवकूफ लोग होंगे, मिस्टर एंड मिसेस श्रीवास्तव, who still carry cash, and we are frowned upon, we are looked down because आजकल कैश कोई नहीं करता। Solutions led by community से पूछिए क्या जरूरत है। Within industry reduce impact on environment. इंडस्ट्री इसलिए कह रहे हैं एग्रीकल्चर का इंपॉर्टेंस खत्म होते जाता है। तो इंडस्ट्री में there is a scope for what do you call reducing pollution. Actions needed is use of sustainable products like reduced plastics. अब मैडम आप लोगों से बात कर रहे थे, एक हम डिफरेंस बताना चाहेंगे। When we banned polythene in 1989, we never thought that plastic bottle is also going to be a problem. We banned it after many years. Then we found out that plastic bottle ही नहीं है, और प्लास्टिक के और बहुत कुछ चीजें हैं जो लोग टूरिस्ट लोग लेके आते हैं। हमारे लोग तो फिर भी मान जाते हैं, लकड़ी का बना लिया, उसका बना लिया, उसका बना लिया, तो उसको भी हम लोगों ने बैन कर दिया। फिर आपका कागज वो नहीं कहलाता है, वो कागज कहलाता है हमारी कॉमन भाषा में स्टाइरोफोम कहलाता है। सर हमारा अंग्रेजी ठीक है सर, स्टाइरोफोम। तो उसको हम लोगों ने बैन किया जब मैं चीफ सेक्रेटरी था। तो मैं देखता था कि सर सब कुछ हो गया, सामने ये कागज का क्या हो रहा है, हम पानी दे रहे हैं, कुछ दे रहे हैं, वो कहता गिर जाता है। Then we thought of idea कि वो जो है क्या नाम है शीशे का, हाँ शीशे का, अब वो बोल रहे हैं कि आप चुप हो जाइए, अब चुप होना है बिकॉज दूसरों को भी बोलना है। थैंक यू सर। तो शीशे का जग, शीशे का ग्लास, वो हम लोगों ने इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया मीटिंग्स। सेम थिंग वाज गिवन टू द टूरिस्ट हु आर एंटरिंग द स्टेट थ्रू द टैक्सी ड्राइवर्स। उसके बाद में है यूज रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, बिगिन फ्रॉम होम। उसके बाद में है सपोर्ट कंजर्वेशन, लोकल क्लियर ड्राइव्स एंड हैबिटेट रेस्टोरेशन। MET should have tried this, that is support conservation, लोकल क्लीन अप ड्राइव्स। आप लोग गांव के बीच में हैं, एक गांव को अडॉप्ट कर लीजिए और उसको ड्राइव करवाइए। दिस इज अ सजेशन। देन ट्री प्लांटेशन टुडे वाज commendable, so was trash to treasure initiative. Self has got experience of 25 products I have made in my own house, and mostly I use clay, sometimes cement, sometimes only what do you call, वो जो साटने वाला होता है, मुन्नी बदनाम हुई डार्लिंग तेरे लिए, क्या हुआ, फेविकॉल, ठीक है। अच्छा, गार्ड एंड वाटर सैपलिंग every day. Advocate for change, action by policy makers and leaders. So climate change, change of weather, many instances in 2025 and 2026. I've told you, so much of disturbance. We thought that winter has come back. I will not extend it. I will just say, if global warming is a challenge, so is the global cooling. And forgive me, all the scientists sitting here, if I have coined this term, because I consider it very important. Global cooling is important. If global warming is important. And something in between also. तो सर्दी खांसी कब होती है? ठंडा और गर्म दोनों जब होता है. Educate yourself about environment, share knowledge and dissemination of information. Educate yourself first of all. उसके बाद में share knowledge. उसमें कह रहा है, वो जो मैंने पढ़ा था कल परसों, share knowledge through social media. सोशल मीडिया के थ्रू में आप रील बनाते हैं, गर्लफ्रेंड बॉयफ्रेंड को देते हैं, इधर देते हैं उधर देते हैं, मम्मी पापा पकड़े तो फिर वो एम्बैरेसिंग हो जाता है, फिर बोलते हैं तुम्हारा क्यों हुआ, तुमने क्या किया। थोड़ा बहुत पेड़ पौधों के बारे में भी शेयर कीजिए इंफॉर्मेशन। अच्छा, देन डिसेमिनेशन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, ये थोड़ा सा लंबा हो गया, जैसे कि हम लोग करते हैं, न्यूज़पेपर में लिखते हैं, मैगजीन में लिखते हैं, तो बड़ा है। डिसेमिनेशन का मतलब होता है कि आपकी नॉलेज तो है, लेकिन औरों को भी जानना चाहिए और इसको स्प्रेड करना है, और इस पर अगर कमेंट आ जाए तो उस पर आपको कार्रवाई करनी है। My column in Sikkim Express, I told you, the emerging world, Indian century, and Chris Swamini, who gave me the award this year. Now, not to forget that, number one, if Earth belongs to us, I'm concluding, sir. If Earth belongs to us, if Earth belongs to us, duty of every person is to preserve and protect it. Let us come together and chalk out action plans. Then plant a tree. You have done it, but you have to plant more number of trees. Organize a cleanup event in a school or office which is close by. Then share Environment Day messages. Then host a recycling drive. Then talk meeting on climate change or on sustainable development. And I'll give you this message last. Let me talk to you about forest cover, which is very good in Northeast. It goes to about 85.71% to 73.68% in the states of Mizoram, Arunachal, Meghalaya, Manipur, Nagaland, and Tripura. In my Sikkim, we are only having 47% of tree cover. उसके बाद में हमने क्या क्या इनिशिएटिव लिया है वो बताऊंगा। अर्थ डे, एनवायरमेंट डे, 1 मिनट टू अर्थ। 1 मिनट टू अर्थ हमारा इतना सक्सेसफुल था कि वी यूज्ड टू प्लांट, वी हैव क्लेम्ड more than 10-12 lakh saplings in just 1 minute. We have requested the Guinness Book of World Records. I don't think we have got any response, but we have done it every year as long as Mr. Chamnik was the chief minister for 25 years. And then of course I told you about adopting a tree. You put the thread around it and then adopt it. उसके बाद में फिर वो catch them young, ये सब तो ठीक है. From governor to CM to DM to school kids to पंचायत representative. And जो आप enforcement की बात करते हैं, मैं claim नहीं कर रहा हूँ. ठाकुर साहब मेरे यहाँ रात को आए थे, लेकिन मैं इनको नहीं ले गया. मैं जब 10:30 बजे ऑफिस से आता था, तो मैं घर नहीं जाता था. I will not. एक मिनट भाई साहब, आप लोग इस तरह से बात करोगे तो बहुत मुश्किल है. मैं जब 10:30 बजे ऑफिस से निकलता था, तो my first visit will be to MG Marg, which is our main area. And I will see that couples are throwing things here and there. I'll myself pick up Till the time my PSO will come. When they see the police, ये इंडिया का बंदा है, ये पुलिस देखेगा तो सब भागेगा, ये सहम कर जाएगा ना, तो पूछता है कि ये कौन है, ये 10:30 बजे ये कोई सफाई कर्मचारी आ गया, तो बोलेगा कि नहीं ये साहब हमारा है चीफ सेक्रेटरी. Now I cannot clean up, but I'm giving a message, है ना? So my workers will get encouraged. My people who are finding people on the spot, madam, all the recognized bazaar in Sikkim are now traffic free. Okay, तो वहाँ जाके आराम से बैठिए, कुछ जो करना है कीजिए, हाँ शोर मत मचाइए. कुछ टूरिस्ट ऐसे होते हैं, मैं स्टेट का नाम नहीं दूंगा, तो आकर लड़ाई झगड़ा सब शुरू कर रहा है. नहीं, आप टूरिज्म के लिए आए हैं, थोड़ा सा कंट्रोल रखिए. ये सब चीजें हैं. बायोडाइवर्सिटी का आपको बता दिया, कब हम लोगों ने शुरुआत की थी, ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड आपको ये पता होगा कि 2-3 बायोडाइवर्सिटी के जो हॉट स्पॉट्स हैं वो इंडिया में है. ईस्टर्न घाट्स, सॉरी वेस्टर्न घाट्स, ईस्टर्न हिमालय, सिक्किम. I think there is one more, and we are very proud of what we have preserved so far. But there is a need to preserve more. And last but not the least, मैं ट्री ट्रांसप्लांटेशन के बारे में नहीं बोलूंगा, वो थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल सब्जेक्ट है, वो भी जरूरी है. बिकॉज अभी हाल में प्रेजेंट गवर्नमेंट के अंडर में 3000 समथिंग ट्रीज वेर uprooted from Rajpath area, but only 1400 something what they did not survive. Now we need to look into it. 3000 समथिंग आपने किया, 1400 समथिंग आपके फेल हो गए. You need to look at it. But I'm telling you, I've got experience as well as expertise. We have done it elsewhere, including Delhi Metro. Number of 3,000 trees were uprooted and they were replanted, and they were doing well. I've gone and seen, and I have a paper which I will share with Dr. Thakur today. That is the paper published in 1999. I have not published it. Dr. Pachauri published it because he felt that this guy has got some problems. 1999. तो हम मैसेज देना चाहते हैं, let us rise to safeguard our environment for the sake of future generations. I will repeat, let us rise on this occasion to safeguard our environment for the sake of our future generations. Thank you very much. Sorry, I think ये आपका है. नहीं ज्यादा नहीं 30-40 maybe 35. Sir, how do I enter, sir?
Thank you, sir, for that insightful session. Next, I invite Professor Azmi Raza, Senior Professor of Economics, University of Delhi, to speak on energy security in recent international scenarios. Dr. Azmi Raza is a professor of economics at the University of Delhi with over 3 decades of teaching, research, and policy experience. A PhD from Jawaharlal Nehru University in Delhi, he specializes in international trade, food security, regional economic integration, and sustainable development. He has served as the honorary economic advisor to ASSOCHAM, Fiji, and the World Trade Center Mumbai, and as a member of several national and international communities, including the UNDP Global Advisory Community on Governance and the Government of India's Community on Agrarian Relations. Professor Raza has authored multiple books and over 50 peer-reviewed research papers on food security, trade, energy, and digital finance. He is also the chief editor of Indian Dominion, an international monthly magazine. His research and advisory work continue to influence economic policy, trade strategy, and food security initiatives across South Asia and beyond. We have great honor and privilege to present citation to Professor Azmi Raza, guest speaker on Thursday meeting.
Am I audible to all the people, please?
Yes, sir.
Participants, am I audible? Okay, fine. So I'm attached to device, so it's better I should switch over to one. Okay, thank you. Uh, good afternoon to all the participants and honorable guests sitting there, and my fellow speakers also, and our friend uh, Professor Thakur as well as Alok Srivastav Sahab. After a long time, we are interacting with each other, of course, through the digital way. I'm very happy to be associated with this kind of initiative which has been taken by Amity University, Haryana, and the different centers of Amity. This is a very wonderful idea to have this kind of discussion among all the young participants, particularly. We should be concerned about sustainable development of our future also. So the topic which we have chosen today, because this movement started way back in 1970, that 22nd April, that is 22nd April, we always celebrate Earth Day, and it gives an importance to the people, the connected with the environmental sciences, economics, politics, policy makers, administrators. If we should be concerned about the global planet, because we are all human being living here, and we are concerned about the different issues. So I will not, without going to the detailed, the analytical, technical aspects of this planet, I would be focusing on this energy security. That is very very important in terms of planet and world and all. So Amity University will go a long way in initiating this kind of discussion among different sections of the society and the different platforms also. So now let us start with this Earth Day, which we are celebrating today, as usual, since 1970. So main focus is on this, and that focus is on renewable energy to ensure environmental stability and energy security. It addresses the need for clean, reliable power amidst rising climate impacts and geopolitical pressures, which you're just saying what is happening in the Middle East, or what we call it West Asia, urging action to triple renewable energy capacity and reduce the fossil fuels dependency. That is very, very important. What is the strategy of the present the government of India? That we are switching on from from fossil to non-fossil. So there are different schemes going on. So I will be focusing on these key themes and energy security goals for 2026 or in the days to come. So the main focus will be on our power and our planet. The mission should be, or it is, that we should focus in shifting from renewable energy to is essential for long-term energy security, creating resilience infrastructure and protecting the environment. That there is a very trade-off between protection of environment as well as this energy consumption and all, because we have to focus on the economic aspects of the development. But it costs something. This is what we call opportunity cost in economics. That subject is very important. And why this urgency? Because you see what is happening in all, we are all living in the NCR region. Climate is taking different turns every after 10 days, 15 days. Suddenly you find about 10 days back it was so pleasant in Delhi. Now suddenly temperature. Yesterday I was in Varanasi. It was so hot there, hot, extremely 45 to 46-degree temperature, and a lot of people were being admitted in the hospitals. This is very unusual pattern. So why we are concerned, as Professor Thakur will tell you, and Professor Alok Srivastav, Dr. Alok Srivastav has mentioned about this melting of our glacier and all these things. That is really impacting the environment. So it's right. It's a very right step that we have taken the initiative, particularly younger generation sitting here, that they should be they should get more involved with the kind of the debates, seminars, symposiums are taking all over the country, rather all over the world. In terms of I'm talking about in context of India, the topic, the theme emphasizes accelerating solar adoption. Like there is a scheme of government of India, Har Ghar Saurya Urja. That is something initiated by the present government, that there has to be focus on solar adoption, that we have been neglecting for a very long time, and we have the kind of dependency which is there on this the oil and gas from this Middle East. And as Dr. Alok Kumar rightly pointed out, the state of Home, a lot of stories will be published and books will come out about the kind of relationship which exists between USA and the Middle East also. They have got other vested interests, and we unnecessarily became party to this kind of unnecessary resolution that is impacting our energy security also. Otherwise, we didn't have any issue as such with them. There is a need for global mobilization is required, because independently, but we cannot do much, because there are a lot of things that to be discussed later on. I will just, that among other goals is in the local energy system that is very very important, and demand clean energy policies are required from the policy makers that will go a long way in ensuring the energy security and overall economic development of the country. So, what is the key aspects? I'm just no, I'm taking just pointing a very brief points for discussion among the policymakers and the participants also. What is the theme? Theme should be that power can defend and restore the planet. It emphasizes the while government must act, individual actions like reducing plastic waste, that is very very important, saving water and increasing environmental awareness matter greatly, because we do expect everything from the government also. What is our responsibility as a community members, that we are what you see in Delhi or NCR or all over the country, that we are using a very like 98 Dr. Alok Kumar just pointed out, this plastic was banned way back in 98 99, but still we are using it in the market. So this kind of dichotomy has to go. There has to be an individual responsibility, that we do expect everything from that municipal commissioner will come, or this local administrator will come and impose restriction. There should be self-awareness about the younger generation. And it's good that University of Delhi, at the graduate level, there is a compulsory paper on environmental sciences that has really impacted the thinking of the younger generation. That what we have observed as a teacher of the university, the younger students are thinking about the environmental aspects, and that will go a long way in achieving certain.
ये विजुअल नहीं आ पाएगा क्या? Can somebody help? They need to tell him on telephone. See, all these news anchors, what they say? अर्णव गोस्वामी क्या कहता है? Unmute कर लीजिए, ये कर लीजिए, आप फोन पर उनको बताइए. He is not lifting my phone. Anybody who has contacted, yes, he has come. Start.
Yes, sir, please unmute yourself.
ठीक कह रही हो. एक बार हिंदी में ही बोल दीजिए. Unmute.
सर, हम आपको नहीं सुन सकते हैं. Please unmute yourself.
Professor Thakur has taken this initiative about organizing this kind of event on a regular basis. About he's a very eminent scientist. In fact, he has worked a lot, and so many papers have been published in international journals. So I had a chance to read a few of the things which he has written about all these things. So I was just talking about the thing, that is very important. The theme and focus should be on what? What was the topic which has been decided today, that this we can talk about, this key action plans. What is the areas of this community cleanups is very important. Another thing is, take drivings, because events and activities which we are organizing, that events are held worldwide. In fact, today in Delhi University, there are a lot of things going on. In Jawaharlal University, I'm pretty sure, and Jamia Millia and other institutions all over the country, educational resources should be, input, as Amity has rightly done this work. In many education institutions, particularly Amity has been doing this work, this about focusing on the environmental aspects also. That environmental awareness is very very important, which have been neglected. We have been able used to talk about environment. Now suddenly we find that it's raining as well. It's very hot also. Few days back it was raining very heavily in Delhi, but next day it was so hot. Temperature has gone up to 44. So we should talk about this. This Paris Agreement, where we talked about that the temperature should not cross 1.5 degrees Celsius. That we have, I'm sure, pretty sure, scientists will be able to tell how it's going to impact, because this environment impacts our food security also. A time might come we might have to freeze again import food grains from the certain areas. India being a primary agriculture country, but environmental impact is very severe on the agriculture production. This we have observed in the state of Punjab, Haryana, and Western UP. In spite of green revolution, the best, all the facilities of irrigation, the productivity level might decrease in the days to come, and population is increasing. So there is a gap between demand and supply of food grains that might create a food ability is there. Of course, we are in a comfortable position, but they might come. Okay, because of the focusing on energy security, and there is a water security also. So all these things are interrelated. In fact, what the environmental scientists are suggesting, that we should try to protect our environment so that we can have a better planet to live, and we can leave to the future generation also. That what we call in economics sustainable development. That is very very important, and for younger students, because we should leave something for the future generation also. Now coming to this second last point, because there is not much time left about all these things. Okay, the earlier 26th theme is our power. Our power should be to protect our planet. That is very, very important. The transition to renewable energy will definitely help a lot in preserving certain sectors like agriculture production, industrial production, environmental production. Many things are related. So community action, what I will suggest that community action is crucial for environmental progress, because unless we involve the community in protecting the environment, we do expect there is a separate ministry for environment and climate change also. But what is happening with the climate? People are, the people always blame each other. The one state is blaming others that Parali wahan Punjab se aati hai, it is polluting the Delhi entire NCR. But what are the problems of the farmers? We have to keep that thing aspect also in mind, because ultimately they are going to have a food supply chain. What is happening in the West Asia, it has affected our entire food supply chain, as well as this energy supply chain. It might affect. It will lead to higher prices of everything, because there is a cascading effect. What we call economics, the transportation cost will go up. So this planet is something we have to preserve it. We have to cherish the good ideas and all these things. I'm coming to this now. Coming to the last point of my talk, very briefly, I've been given 10-15 minutes time. That Middle East crisis and a volatile oil and gas supply is exposing India's structural weakness, a deep, persistent dependence on imported fossil fuels. This is something very, very challenging for the policymakers, for the administrators, also for the political leadership. Also, this question has, this issue is, haunting like us anything. For over 3 decades, what happened is, since starting, way back in global energy shock, what we have done in 2003, the Gulf War, and 2003, then again in 2008 also, and the oil price spike has really helped haunting country like India also, that we have to think about switching over to renewable energy, solar energies. So now the lot of initiative have been taken by the government, and I'm pretty sure Indian economies will do well in the days to come. But persistent dependence on imported fossil fuels and resulting vulnerability from price instability, the price rise. There's a clear cut correlation between this imported price as well as the price prevailing in the Indian market. That is affecting the poorer sections of the society also. There is it has been observed recently, because of this oil crisis and all gas crisis, some population or there is some sort of reverse migration is taking place, of course in a very modest way, not like COVID and all these things. Okay, 10 to 15% laborers are shifting to their own villages, because they can always use the wood there, because gas supplies, again there's a kind of black marketing going on. It's costing 3,000 to 4,000 per cylinder. So this is a sort of no, this vulnerable section is being exploited by the, again the people who are in the gas distributors and all these things this time. Another thing, in spite we are talking about this coal as a shock absorber, not as a solution. This is something, still the dependency on coal is very, very high. The current increase in coal utilization reflects its role as a shock observers in India's energy mix. When gas becomes scarce or expensive, so again, we switch over to plants. Ultimately, it will affect our environment also. So plantation, all these things will drive this crisis in Middle East or West Asia will have a very far-reaching consequences, not only for South Asia, for the entire world. In fact, the entire trade pattern is disrupted. That's why United States of America is very much worried. People are not joining USA, because the entire supply chain system in Europe has also got affected. Because this kind of shock observers, shock, we can always, because India being in a basically primarily case that we have a, but Europe badly needs gas. The entire climate condition is so much that there's so much dependency on glass. They have to keep their home hot also. So warmer, because this severe winter is very severe. But in case of India or the South Asia, what we talk about that, that we became victim of this political fight going on in the Middle East. Otherwise, we had a very fine relationship with the Middle East, and uh, but we have got some alternative for that also. We were switching over to solar energy and all these things. So renewable energy, renewable energy is the strongest link. Just to give to align with the 1.5 pathway I mentioned earlier, also 1.5-degree pathway, wind and solar energy. Wind and solar energy generation should be given priority over other things also. And that we should talk about this need to grow about by 2030. That's our aim. A climate action tracker. There is the climate action tracker that we are trying to by 2030 we are switching over to this by this accelerating the coal phase. We have to whole phase. And persistent narrative is that India continues to rely on coal because renewable energy cannot yet meet the demand. That's the problem. Regional, you know, but most of the people say that we have too much capacity, but the government is doing a good work in the sense that we are switching over, particularly the state of Rajasthan, the state of Gujarat, in fact, this solar energy is doing a good job. Rajasthan also, in the state of like Punjab also, they have done, and Madhya Pradesh, they have initiated. So this renewable energy is not the source of India's vulnerability. Fossil fuel dependency is. That is important. Fossil fuel को कैसे कम किया जाए ये इशू जो है हमारे इन्वायरमेंटल साइंटिस्ट इकोनॉमिस्ट सब मिलकर इस पर बात करें और खासकर इन्वायरमेंटल स्टडीज का जो सिलेबस है दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द सिलेबस ऑफ अंडर ग्रेजुएट कोर्स इन दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी इट टॉक्स अबाउट साइंटिफिक एस्पेक्ट इकोनॉमिक्स एस्पेक्ट social effects that is very important the community development so while the challenges related to storage and there are a lot of problems involved in terms of cost it should be cost effective also in terms of capital all these things India basically primarily what is that is the capital labor intensive technology and we need a massive amount of capital resources to fine tune this entire policy mix of renewable energy and this planet the topic which we have Amity has taken up is extremely very important. I'm pretty sure that India grapples with pressing energy security challenges in the current international landscape what is the marked by escalating geopolitical tension in West Asia. So we have to have some kind of device, a way to integrate our energy policy with the food security, with our international diplomacy also. Because primarily from the Middle East, we are around importing about 50% of natural gas. 50% natural gas, the country faces heightened risk from conflict, sanctions. Many things are on price spice that could inflate its import by $1 billion. That is something very worrisome. And these vulnerabilities are compounded by rising domestic energy demand driven by economic growth. Of course, we have to go for the economic growth. We have to go for and urbanization is the reality. And this electrification goals making reliable access to affordable energy a national priority. That is something we should keep in mind. I'm pretty sure Thakur Sahab, the time is up now. I think so. I will not take much time, and India's energy import reliance remains stark. That is something I'm not ending my discussion with a very pessimistic note, but I'm very positive that by a proper mix-up of the economic policy and a proper diplomacy, what we call, that we should have some diplomatic understanding, not a neutral diplomacy allows India to maintain ties with suppliers like, other countries like Russia, discounted price we are getting it. Of course, Iran also, Gulf state, and while they are deepening US ties, that is something very challenges for the policy makers also. So I am ending my talks with a very few pessimistic notes that we should preserve our planet. We should cherish it, I guess. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Raja. Thank you very much for excellent lecture. And I think that you have very limited time. That is why we could not discuss about all.
Please come in
Okay.
from my side.
I'll not be saying also thanks to you. In fact, he is conveying to you. And I can tell you, Professor Masri, Professor Bhattacharya, in fact, Professor B. Bhattacharya, Vice Chancellor of All Other University, he is
Thank you.
belong to you. He told me long time that without economics, political science integration, environmental science,
That is true.
and there is a lot of integration. And particularly once you have the sustainability and other things, all the environmental scientists should learn about how to integrate these components. So it was a wonderful presentation, wonderful talk, and wonderful points that you have raised, and also your remedial mechanism. Except it was very useful to the students who are sitting here, and also, in fact, I can tell you that this message, whatever is recording, is there. It will go to the mass. So I'm very grateful to you. Thank you, and you are inviting us from Banaras, and that you have taken extra pain. I'm really grateful to you. And maybe sometime later also we will organize such kind of meeting, and then maybe you will get 1 hour time, and then you have the more opportunity. Thank you very much. Our next speaker also is a very renowned person. He is Professor Rupam Katki. Professor Rupam, he is in fact Professor Rupam is a professor in head with the Department of Energy at Jaipur University, Assam. Rupam, your satisfaction is with me, and I will send it to you by the post, and maybe in the mail also. I will send it to you. Professor Rupam has specialized in the biomass conversion, bioenergy, and biofuel. So he is a true sense. He is a technocrat. He has extensive experiences in thermochemical valorization of or biomass, biochar production, waste valorization, biofuel, biochar, carbon sequestration, soil amendment, biodiesel, biolubricant production, indigenous high yielding. So all the aspects is there. So Rupam is also BSc and MSc from the Assam Agriculture University. He was in Vasigata University also. So he has a lot of experiences. Now I invite Rupam. So you can, Rupam, the floor is yours. And you can start now.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for kindly inviting me to this event, Art Day event. Yes, sir, am I here audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and thanks to Thakur sir for kindly inviting me, and to all of you in the MIT School of Art and Environmental Sciences. I'm really happy that my previous speakers, Srivastava sir, talked about Northeast India, and then Professor Raja sir, he talked about the renewable energy. So I am from Northeast India, and I am going to talk something on renewable energy. And I'm happy to see that there are many of the participants are students from the School of Art and Environmental Science, I believe. And thanks to the school for organizing such a timely event, which is required, badly required by all of us. We need to understand the meaning of the Art Day, and we need to realize it, and we need to implement in our day-to-day life. That's, I believe, very, very important. We need to utilize it in our day-to-day life. So, but then, because for more than a month, there has been very bad weather in this part of the country. Yesterday, I was going through the news, and it was saying that the heat waves are expected in Delhi and other parts of the country, especially the north and northwestern part of the country. However, in this part of the country, we have been experiencing heavy rainfall last few days, for almost a month, and then we are still using our quilts and all. So as a complete contrasting situation what you have been experiencing in North India. So anyway, I'll stop my video, and I'll just upload my, I have prepared a lecture for this slide for this presentation. I'll stop my video, and I'll upload my video. Is it okay? Can you see this? Okay. So the topic that I have chosen for today's discussion is our power, our art. Exactly the theme of this today's event, and examining the present energy use patterns, their environmental impacts, and the transformative role of renewable energy for a sustainable planet. I'm really thankful to Professor Raja sir that he has already paved my way for talking about the renewable energy. He has talked about renewable energy, the requirement of renewable energy, and how renewable energy can bring a transformative, or can add to the sustainability of the planet. So as you can see, the current energy portfolio, if you look at the current energy portfolio, you will see that it is mostly dominated by the conventional energy. So, and fossil fuel, namely coal, petroleum, and natural gases. So, and these are, categorized as conventional energy because of the historical dominance since the Industrial Revolution, during which the coal-powered steam engines, enabled the large-scale industrialization. And this historical reliance, has created a almost a kind of a structural dependence on fossil fuels, which is often considered as a carbon lock-in, where the infrastructure in the country, the economic systems, the even the policy frameworks, everything, we are all deeply kind of embedded in the fossil based energy systems. So the coal based energy, we know the whole country still runs on coal, right? It is mostly widely used for electricity generation, particularly in our country. So the primary advantage of the coal is that they are highly energy dense, which allows large quantity of energy to be produced from relatively small amount of fuel. And also there are so many benefits of coal because we have been using coal for a long time. There is a well established infrastructure, mining operations, transportation network, everything has been in setting. Everything has been set in, and that has been going on for over decades. So, but then there are significant disadvantages. We know carbon dioxide emission, which leads to climate change, then air pollution, so many, and then huge quantities of ash are produced as a result of coal combustion. And again, the mining activities, the mining activities has led to a open cast mining in Northeast India, especially in Upper Assam areas, has created a lot of problems. I'll be coming into that later on also. Then petroleum based energy, we know petroleum based energy, it plays a crucial role in the transportation sector. We don't need to talk about that. But wow, how? Because it benefits from a mature global supply chain. Now recently this supply chain has been disrupted because of the geopolitical situation, but otherwise there's a very mature global supply chain which with a well developed system of extraction, refining and distribution. So we are all happy with the current situation. We are all happy with the petroleum based or energy situation. Recently we have faced a music, but then again, petroleum has several drawbacks too. Air pollution, we all know, then it contributes to the smoke, which causes respiratory problems. Then, oil extraction and transportation also has got so many environmental risks. And most importantly, we need to rely, because we produce almost only 20% of our requirement. We rely mostly on, other countries, and that creates a geopolitical dependency. And that we have seen now these days, that what is going to happen. Probably government of India is waiting for the election to be over. After that, probably the price of the crude oil, as the crude oil prices has already gone up in the world market. So the current in the local market, national market also, probably the price of petrol, diesel will shoot up immediately after the elections. The LPG crisis that we have already, this is all because of the geopolitical dependencies the petroleum has created. The natural gas, natural gas, of course, it is considered as a relatively cleaner fossil fuel and compared to coal and oil. But then again, it is also not much, but some limitations are there. For example, methane leakage. Methane leakage, during extraction and transportation can be a problem. Again, natural gas is also a non-renewable resource, and its infrastructure also requirements. There are infrastructure requirements like pipeline, then the liquefied natural gas terminals, and again these are very very capital intensive. So, in summary, what we can say that the conventional energy systems, though they have played a critical role in enabling the economic growth and development the country has witnessed till now, but then they also have created a significant environmental challenge and structured dependencies. We are dependent. We are fossil fuel. We are dependent on the Middle East, and we have seen what has happened in the recent years, recent days. So the central challenge in this regard is to balance the energy security, affordability, and sustainability. And for that, we need to transition towards a cleaner energy system. So the climate change, the environmental impacts of the current energy systems, if we look at the first thing is comes that the climate change and greenhouse gas emissions. So these are the environmental implications of the current energy systems are profound, and it's multifaceted. And most significant impact is climate change, which is primarily driven by the emission of greenhouse gases and carbon dioxide from fossil fuel burning, that we know already. And then the effects like melting glaciers, these are all known to all of us. So then air pollution, another big problem. And air pollution is also a major consequence of fossil fuel based energy systems. Particulate matter, PM2.5. PM2.5 is especially important because they can penetrate into the deep inside the lungs and blood system, and they can cause like respiratory and cardiovascular diseases also. So there are a lot of air pollution related problems. Then water pollution is also closely linked to energy systems. Thermal power plants, they also release heated water. So these are released to the natural water bodies, and they reduce the dissolved oxygen, and then it affects the aquatic life. Oil spillage and then industrial discharge. Oil spillage, I know in every day in my state, because we also produce a good significant amount of oil. Every day, almost, yeah, there is a news item in the local newspapers that there is a oil spillage from the pipelines, and the huge amount of land, huge areas of lands are being, polluted. So there are problems because of this oil spillage from even from the pipelines. Then again, land degradation is also another problem that has been land degradation is also associated to the to this oil spillage, then mining activities. So there are these all these things are associated with each other. So overall, we can say that the environmental impacts of energy systems are highly interconnected, and it extends across multiple domains, including climate, then health, then ecosystems. So if we need to address these challenges, it requires a holistic approach, and that considers the entire energy environment nexus. So we need to take into account everything together. So let's come to renewable energy. How renewable energy can help us in this regard. So renewable energy technologies are a sustainable alternative to fossil fuels. Because you can harness them naturally, replacing resources. Solar energy, for example, you can use it from the photovoltaic cells, right? That convert sunlight directly into electricity. So these are, and solar energy is abundant, but there is no geopolitical barrier, right? And it produces no emission during operation. But then, of course, there are problems associated with solar energy also, because the first and foremost problem is that it is intermittent in nature. It depends on sunlight availability, and it requires, most importantly, the energy storage systems to ensure a continuous power supply. So these are some of the limitations of the solar energy. But nonetheless, I would like to impress upon the students that solar energy is one of the most viable options the country has now in front of us. Then the wind energy, is another important renewable resource. Wind energy is clean, renewable, and has relatively low operational cost in the long run. So, and it can be employed both onshore and offshore. So, but then of course, the even wind turbines also can have sometimes the noise impacts, and especially in case of migratory birds, there are reports coming up recently that the migratory birds are also being created. They also create problems for the migratory birds, and then especially the bat population. The hydropower is one of the cleanest source, and then we all know that it is one of the oldest and most reliable forms of renewable energy. Of course, when we talk about the renewable, we only take care of the small and medium sized hydropower. Big size hydropowers are not being considered as renewable because of the problems, severe ecological problems associated with the large hydropower systems. So because there is ecological disruption, including the changes in the river flow, then loss of aquatic biodiversity, and then most importantly, the displacement of local communities. For example, now in Assam and Northeast India, the Arunachal Pradesh is considered as the storehouse of huge hydropower. But then back at the foothills in Assam, we are afraid that because we also sit in the highest earthquake zone, that is fifth, I think the fifth zone. We are the Northeast India is sitting. So if there is any problem, we people in the foothills of Arunachal will be badly affected, very very badly affected. And this is I believe is a genuine concern of the people of the state. Then the biomass energy, biofuel or biomass energy, it is a subject of my interest, of course, as Thakur sir has mentioned, and that agricultural residues like forest biomass, like organic fraction of the municipal solid waste. So these are all constitutes the biomass energy, specifically the waste biomass, and that there are different types of biofuels and bioenergy can be obtained from these different types of sources. And this is very, very important because it is again locally available. They have so many disadvantages. Biomass, waste biomass have so many advantages. It is not only biofuel or bioenergy. From biomass we can get a number of different types of value-added chemicals, which I'm going to discuss later maybe. So
You can summarize it. We have limited time, but
yes, sir. Yes,
excellent.
yeah. So the emerging technologies, and then emerging technologies, there are quite a number of emerging technologies. The hydrogen energy, advanced biofuels, then energy storage systems. These are again gaining importance in addressing the limitations of renewable energy, particularly the most important problem of intermittency. So these technologies can really create remove the problems of the renewable energy intermittency. So then the energy transition framework, as you can see, that the transition towards a sustainable energy future, it requires a comprehensive shift from fossil based energy to renewable energy systems, and from linear economic models to circular economic models. So as you know, in linear economic models, what happens? The resources are extracted, used, and discarded. But in case of the circular economy model, it emphasizes more resource efficiency by reusing and recycling. So we need to convert to the circular economy model. The energy efficiency is one of the most important aspect of this transition. Then the concept of circular economy is particularly relevant in the context of energy systems. Then the decentralized energy systems is another important pathway. These systems, involve local energy production. This is very, very important. You cannot have a completely centralized energy system. Decentralized energy system is very, very important for countries like ours. Then, of course, the policy and governance also plays a crucial role in enabling energy transition. And in conclusion, I'll say that if we want to achieve a sustainable energy future, it requires a combination of technological innovation, the behavioral change, and interdisciplinary collaboration. The objective is not only to develop cleaner energy systems, but also to create resilient. We must create a resilient energy system and an equitable systems that supports not only the sustainable development, but also human development and environmental sustainability. So with this, I conclude my short speech. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rupam. I am telling you, it was a very excellent presentation and a lot of information. Okay, and I know that's a very limited time that we have, in fact, and so in future maybe we can come with the more time. In fact, that's important. So at this stage, I'm really grateful to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You are your friend, and I cannot. I don't have word to express. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Meet and talk to you later.
Sure, sir.
Okay,
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for kindly inviting me once again. I'll be happy to be with you, associated with you in your future activities. Thank you.
Your suggestion, I will forward your suggestion later on. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we have the next speaker, Dr. Garima Sarma. Dr. Garima Sarma is Associate Professor in the Department of Environmental Sciences, School of Earth Sciences, Central University, Rajasthan. She graduated, she did her PhD from the Delhi University, and she has a lot of projects in her hand. Dr. Garima is working on the plastic, in fact, and she is the most suitable for speaker for this lecture, but due to the time problem, due to time constraint, I think that Dr. Garima,
yes, sir.
You can, in fact, please continue, and maybe in future again we will get more time, and then we will discuss. So
sure, sir.
maybe you on the plastics and other things. Thank
sir,
you.
my voice is audible to you?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Thank you, sir. And I'm also sharing the slides. Just a second. So can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And once again, very good afternoon and happy Earth Day to all the event organizers and all guests present here. It is really a privilege, and I really thank my Guruji And Professor Thakur sir, Director of MIT School of Earth and Environmental Sciences, Head of the Department, Dr. Kushag Rajendri, and indeed a great pleasure and honor to join this esteemed panel with Professor Srivastava, Professor Raza, and Professor Katki. I would like to remind.
You can summarize it, and you can stay in the prize distribution ceremony also after that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Just
So
going
summarize
directly
and,
to the topic of concern, that is emerging contaminants and sustainable development goals. I would like to share in brief. Emerging contaminants are part of our daily life. They are there. If we see these pictures, you can all came across that how these products are part of our daily life. And this is how from pharmaceuticals, personal care products, as well as from plastics and additive chemicals from these plastics, they are getting into the food chain of the ecosystems. So understanding the sustainable development goals, we all know that these are 17 goals, and where I can really contribute in achieving these goals in goal number 6, 11, 12, 14, and 15. So if we talk about waste generation, India is still producing less than total world's average, that is 0.2 to 0.6 kg per capita per day. However, this figure keep on increasing if we don't check our living standards, the fast growing fashion, eating habits, and the natural conditions also may play adverse role on this. So if we discuss about what are all these emerging contaminants that are coming out of the household waste in the form of a hazardous domestic waste is expired medicines or unused medicines, pharmaceuticals from excretory systems, household biomedical waste, hazardous domestic waste in the form of cemetery pads, broken thermometers, and various medical kits that are being used in households, unused personal care products, some solvents, and e-waste. So they are directly or indirectly coming to our environment. But do we have any solution to these? And unfortunately, the situation in one of the studies states that around 31 to 100 pharmaceuticals are found in almost all types of water present in India. That is groundwater, tap water, or drinking water. And fortunately, there is a good news that Kerala government has started to take initiatives through their End Proud program, which talks about collection and removal of unused drugs from each households. So this is the way we can stop putting these expired or unused medicines in our household dustbins. So one initiative is this. Similarly, Indore ranks as one of the cleanest city, and in this vehicle, you can see there are two separate bins, which talks about carrying the household hazardous waste and e-waste. If we segregate them at source, then there is a procedure which is also supported by government, that how can we get rid of these kind of waste getting mixed into the domestic normal waste. Then the second thing which I want to really, which is my core research area, is plastics and the associated chemicals that are used in plastic manufacturing. And some of them are phthalates, bisphenol A, and monomers. You can see from these pictures, these are part of our daily routine. And these chemicals are getting into our life through invasive plastics. And one question I would like to ask from the audience, have you seen any brand for the disposable containers that are being used by top hotels to local vendors in the street for supplying the food? So if this is the question for us, then we can imagine how poorly they are being manufactured. And the plastic waste management rules 2021 also talks about complete banning of these kind of products. So I'm just summarizing that we don't have to we have to just check our behavior, our daily routine, and our habits, that are we really getting rid of these, or they are still part of our daily life. So these are some alarming pictures and news from all around the world, which talks about the invasive problem that we are being affected from the use of unchecked plastic in our daily life. And we really need, there is an urgent need to get rid of these SUPs. We have to address the fast growing fashion, invest in innovation, and some incentive based policy intervention is still needed from government side so that we can actually ban these products into the market. Eco-friendly measure came into news is Bartan Bank, which can really help us that to not use these kind of plastics in mass gatherings or having some mass food distribution programs. So this is one initiative which is taken by one of the small village in Rajasthan. And I thank our funding agencies for getting the research funds. And this is our lab. Thank you so much, Thakur sir, for giving me this opportunity. I would be glad to take more in future.
Now I would like to announce the winners for today for model making. We have Nishu as the first place, Ritika as second place, Ritika and team, Kuber and team as the third place. For poster making, we have Pradoshi as the first place. Then we have Sachi Danand Das as the second. And third, we have Shweta. For consolation prizes, we have Vishal, Divyang, Ashwin, Ansh, Vansh, Dilanchi, Tesurao, Garima, Paras, and Jitesh. A huge round of applause for all the participants and the winners. Okay, so we have the results of model making.
So what I'm saying that we have started calculating function now. Okay, and whosoever, because I'm really grateful to people for contribution. And I told you myself, I saw some professor, Sama told you, and everybody told you that you people are just wonderful. And also, Srivastava Ji has told you that it is really wonderful, and we have already spent several times. People have spent more than 20 days for that.
Something to be replicated.
Yeah. So
To be spread.
so what I can say that now this from to I think that maybe somebody will get first again.
Sir, I would like to invite our honorable chief guest, sir, to give trophies to the winners.
So I'm really grateful to you people first, and then I think that don't think for me, whatever it is exactly, you can come to me. No problem. Here first of all, I will tell you that so much they are saying the awards and the judge in fact. Dr. Amrit is sitting here and Dr. Chaudhary is a very known person. He was the chairperson, he was the member of this committee. He decided and he told me that it's difficult to judge. Right? But even after that, we have to decide first, second, and third. And whatever it is, I have given some consolation prizes. I am just giving you a lot of consolation prizes also there. Now you can start.
For model making, so I would like to request honorable guests, sir. Sir, please come for first trophy distribution. The first prize in model making goes to Nishu from Assis. Please give him a huge round of applause.
Where you are?
अरे हमारी बॉस से भी दिलवा दीजिएगा नहीं तो
कब सर सर
वही करते हैं पीछे बैकग्राउंड
where you are. So he is like main coordinator, and he has spent I don't know the way he was working. I was just surprised to see all. So you please take this one and give the award to him.
अच्छा, please record it. Somebody said consolation. Consolation means no, it doesn't mean end. Consolation also will and shall lead to elation. You will feel elated even when getting consolation, even when you are not getting, because the more important thing is that what the Pandit Nehru used to say, play the game in the spirit of game. So participate in the spirit of participation.
Yes. Okay, great. So,
Second, Vitika from VID. Vitika and team from VID.
भाई प्लास्टिक का बना हुआ है और ये सरप्राइज इसे मेड ऑफ प्लास्टिक, ये प्लास्टिक का बना हुआ है सारा, आपको अवार्ड दिया जाना है, प्लास्टिक से बना हुआ है। अटेंशन दी ये है इनको दीजिए, आ जाओ ये हो क्या ठीक है, थैंक यू।
She's not looking at me.
थैंक यू।
और Kuber from B Architecture. Kuber and team, please use round of applause.
Come Kuber, तुम्हारा टीम है, आ जाओ। Please Kuber आ जाओ टीम। तुम सारे
All are from architecture.
आ जाओ। ये सारे लोग मिल करके ये जो है सर्टिफिकेट जो भी है वो मिल जाएगा। ये कैसे कीजिए जिसके सेक्टर वाले सर इस तरह जी ठीक है, थैंक यू अरे आप अमृत जी आप कहाँ रह जाएंगे, आप तो पीछे आपको बैठे हुए। अमृत जी चलिए, अमृत जी प्लीज कम। यहाँ इस तरफ देखिए,
Take it for your friends.
थैंक यू।
For poster making, Vidushi. Vidushi, please come and receive your award.
अमृत सर थैंक यू।
भाई एक आध कैमरा में रिपोर्ट कीजिए, एक आध केस अवार्ड मेरे को भी मिलना चाहिए। एक मिनट, एक विषय और
सर देखिए, इस तरह देखिए।
Now look at me. Yes.
Congratulations. ठीक है, थैंक यू। और क्या नेक्स्ट क्या बताइए।
Next, Sachidanand Das.
हाँ कहाँ हो?
Sachidanand Das is over here. So we keep this. Shweta, are you here? Shweta.
नहीं, एक मिनट देखिए, एजेंसी से सचिदानंद अगर नहीं पाए, उनके बदले कोई और रिसीव कर पाए, तो फिर उनको भिजवा दीजिए। एनीबॉडी, दैट इज द डिसीजन।
कोई दोस्त है उसका? कोई दोस्त है?
Sachidanand मैडम कोई फ्रेंड है?
तो आ जाओ।
See, the award has to be, honored.
Ma'am, इसमें देखिए even ma'am reporter to the court.
थैंक यू।
Certificates will be given to all the students. Okay? Certificates will be given shortly.
आ जाओ ना, तुम कहाँ गई?
यहाँ देखने मैम
Ma'am, you deserve a packet of me. You're a non-taker. What's your name? Other one thing. अरे फोटो लो भाई. You can also,
हो गया? हाँ, आ जाओ बेटा। क्या? ये आ गया, ये देना साहब भाई। अब इन दोनों को दीजिए। इन दोनों को दीजिए। चलो चलो।
ये आ गया कुछ? अच्छा, अभी।
और यहाँ देखिए।
दो कान
सर ये सचिदानंद आ गए।
सचिदानंद कहाँ हो?
काम एक ले लीजिए इनसे।
सचिदानंद चलो। ठीक है? थैंक यू। हाँ, चलो आ जाओ।
Award winners come with your award.
अगर नहीं तो बाहर से आ जाओ। वहाँ पास ये बताऊंगा।
बच्चे आगे
All the winners.
बेटा तुम लोग आ जाओ,
Scholars.
एक दो करके आ जाओ।
Disha.
नहीं एक ही साथ साथ सब अच्छा सवाल
बैठ जाओ आप
Nikhil.
चलो थोड़ा सा दे दो हाँ बैठ
Yes.
ये रख दो
बैठ जाओ
Keep your trophies in hand. School trophy ऊपर करो। बढ़िया से।
Please come back, come back. There is enough space here.
दिव्या जी आप कहाँ चले गए
आगे मैम यहाँ इस तरह एक फोन से
ठीक है थैंक यू तो
Thank you so much. Certificates ये वो स्वेटर सर स्टूडेंट को रिलीव कर सकते हैं ओके थैंक यू सो मच सर वो पीएचडी वाला वही क्या
आपको लिंक भेज दूंगा मेल पे ठीक है प्रणाम
लेकिन आप
सर का ही बहुत जो स्टूडेंट ने बनाया था ना वो वहां पे हाँ मैं वही बोल रही हूँ अभी वो भी अभी लंच करके आएंगे
You made really the event live.
like yes sir you were happy
I also became alive after so many years of being dormant. My English is alright, sir.
yes
Am I able to
that's really good you are underestimating yourself
नहीं सुनो आप तो हमसे बहुत छोटी हो
सर आप
अंग्रेजी का जो सेंटेंस है ना अंग्रेजी का सेंटेंस है ना if I say I'm a failure I'm dormant nothing you know सर क्या होती है क्या होता है it is an understatement it is British English it is an understatement
sir let's
जो लोग थोड़े इंटेलिजेंट लोग हैं समझ आएंगे बाकी लोग क्या बोलते हैं तो बोल रहा हूँ she is also adding to what you have said but there is a way of saying so
let's go for lunch Sunday is very lovely program
वो खा गया वो खा रखा है
sir वो वही चलो रुकते रहेंगे
दुर्गा साहब थैंक यू सर
इनका गरिमा सर ने सीखे भाई आप थैंक यू ये ऑडियंस का थैंक यू
Okay.
ठीक है सर ये कैसे बंद हुआ यार
सर बोल रहा हूँ
वो श्रीनिवास जी को बोला You must be very hungry. No,
बस वो
Okay.
हाँ ठीक है चलिए वो अस्मी रजा जो ले लिया उसको भी ले लिया ना ठीक है ऐसा कौन सा
चलिए बहुत अच्छा लगा, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
चलिए जितना हो पाया जो है जो बाकी है ये सब जो
ठाकुर साहब, ठाकुर साहब,
अरे ओ ठाकुर,
सुने बेटा तो सुना है आपने?
जी सर।
अरे ओ सांबा, कितने आदमी थे। नहीं सलाह दो, वो दो थे तुम तीन, फिर भी वापस चले आए। सोचा था सरदार शाबाशी देंगे।
आई बुला रहे हैं ठाकुर।
कुछ कह रहे हैं उसके बाद क्या होगा?
बुला रहे हैं।
सब बोली
आइए
Actually, you never had acted like something. You can very happily. No, I think people may not know also.
बंद कर थोड़ा इसको याद है।
एक्चुअली फोटो भेजिए आता होगा
माइक वाइक लो हाथ में। प्रेजेंटेशन हो रही है आपके